And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
They'll run with Miller, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Miller. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. On 4th down, the Texans will turn it over to the active leader in punting yards, and that's Shane Lechler. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished 2nd. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought, was going to be the guy who got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
Throwing is Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Carson. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now it's Carson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Play action. It's Wilson. And Wilson has it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gets it to Baldwin. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On 2nd down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing again here. Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Wilson on the keeper. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. This time Wilson will throw. And he's got the big tight end Graham. Touchdown Seattle. Jimmy Graham. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Charles, let's step into a conversation about Houston in 2017 as their offense comes back onto the field here. But just 1-9 in their last 10 games, finished 4-12. You and I know, though, injuries really ravaged this team.
Absolutely destroyed this team. And look, we focus on Deshaun Watson, the quarterback, and rightly so. He was probably going to be the rookie of the year. But when it started for injuries, it was defense. J.J. Watt, perennial all-pro, goes out early. Whitney Merciless, double-digit sack guy out. Brian Cushing, starting linebacker, out. When you start totaling up the injuries they had through the year, it's almost amazing that they made it through the entire season able to play the schedule. So that's what you're looking at with the Texans, who have been a defense-first team. If they can get everyone back healthy, playing to their level, and get Deshaun Watson back sparking the offense, optimism will be high in 2018.
Now it's Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. kjay8, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. They're going for it. It's Watson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. This is Miller. And some room to maneuver. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 45 yards on the ground. Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Oh, that one got away from him. Short distance kick missed. No good. Way wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
On 1st down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. DJ Reader in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it. They're going to try and throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Whitney Merciless able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Partner, you know I'm always going to listen to you first, okay? But when I hear the PA guy say, tackle in the backfield by Clowney, my first thought is to go back to his days at South Carolina and that one particular hit in the bowl game against Michigan.
Yeah, I know. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. They run again with Carson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume, Real, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down right on the 30-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And, a good hit there and knocked down hard. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They're able to locate Wilson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Needed 16. They got 17 on 3rd down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And ready now for 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They go play action with Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off down at the 2. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Shift together here from the D-line. They begin with a run by Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.